Hi, this is Mark Hauser, and I want to go over with you exactly what it takes to become a public adjuster. And what's the career? What's it like? Public adjusters, we handle the insurance claims for homeowners, not the insurance companies. We make more money, and there's just much more work out there, and it's just a better life. That's right. We're going to examine it, every aspect you can think of, step by step. Why association online learning? I want to start there first. Why online? Okay, we teach everything online. Oh, I don't like learning online. Why? Because you don't have the discipline to actually sit down and actually go to the computer and go through the things, or go on a tablet or whatever to learn what you need to learn. If that's the case, then you've got a bigger problem than just online learning. You have a problem with being able to commit to what you need to do. And if that's the case, then I can't help you. But if you can commit to yourself, then we'll commit to you. Now, online learning gives you better choices, much more flexibility, networking opportunities, because we're an association and we actually believe in goodwill among all of our members, and our members do with each other. Total cost is going to be much lower. $20,000 to go to college right now per year, we're not anywhere near that. And we're actually building an army. So we're not trying to make all of our money and just trying to get you to learn how to do this, even though you can make a six-figure income your first year. You don't even do that with college. Pacing, you need to do this at your pace, because sometimes things going to come in, and it's going to curveballs come in, and you're going to be able to deal with it. And we're there to help you during that process. Open scheduling, that's part of what we're talking about. It could be 12 o'clock at midnight. It could be 1 o'clock in the morning. Whenever your time is available, that's when we're available. No more commuting, no more getting into that traffic, no more. It's one thing if the school is right around your corner. It's another thing if it's like 2 hours away or even an hour away. That's a 2-hour drive every time just to go to a class. If you're doing that every day, that can become not only expensive, but also inconvenient. Inspiring instructors. Well, I always think I'm inspiring. I've been doing this for quite some time. We've got over 500 firms throughout the United States. We've helped start, and actually they're making tons of money. Now, actually, a lot of my members are actually now becoming the major speakers at major events for different associations. And so we're doing pretty good. Teaching test options. You're going to give options on being able to pass that test that you're not going to get anywhere else, and you're going to be able to get it and have the comfortable way of doing that from home. Effectiveness. You will learn this because we're going to be dealing with things called imprinting, and we're going to show you how to do this. One of the best guys that taught me how to do this was Dr. Bill Bent. He was the educational czar for Ronald Reagan, an unbelievable gentleman. Okay. It's going to be more comfortable learning. I'll tell you what, it's much more comfortable in my more relaxed chair at home than it would be sitting in those hard wooden chairs or plastic chairs in some classroom someplace. And I don't walk out the door and forget 10% of what I just learned. Where imprinting comes in. Convenience and flexibility. That's the whole thing that's all about online. And continue your professional income flow. So in other words, you only need so much to be able to start making money. We're going to teach you how to get up to speed real quickly. And then you can start, and you'll know more than the insurance adjuster. And then you start learning more and more. So you make more money for the client, which in turn makes more money for yourself, because we make money from helping the homeowner. Time. It's all about time. Standard excuses. And I always go through all these, and when I was younger, I used to have them too. I have no time to study. Sure you do. It's temporary convenience for permanent improvement. Sooner or later, if you just buckle down for a short period of time, you don't have to do that ever again. That's how you have to look at it. You don't have to do it ever again. So buckle down, get it done, get it over with. Okay? I don't know anything about adjusting. Yeah, well, we teach you as if you know nothing. We teach you that we don't expect you to know anything. We don't want you to come in with pre-existing ideas. We're going to teach you exactly what it takes, and we're going to be teaching you from both sides. We're going to teach you how an insurance adjuster looks at it. We're going to teach you how a public adjuster looks at it, because we want you to understand. It's like playing a game. It's like playing cards. If you know what's in their hand, it's so much easier to play the game. We're pretty good at that. How to find clients. When you know how the workflow and work goes when damage happens, we teach you how to get in the way of that so the business actually comes at you. You're not chasing it. And how long will it take? It's going to take between, if you're not a public adjuster at all and you don't have any license at all, then it's going to take about 60 days, 2 hours a night for 60 days, about 80 hours altogether. Take your Mondays and your Saturday and Sundays off. You don't need to be working those days. You need to be spending time with your family. But in 60 days, you'll be up and running, process business. Now, where does the money come in? Money comes in 30, 60, 90 days. Step one, licensing. Licensing is really important to understand. Licensing is the first step, and we want you to get through it. We call this the test world. And then we're going to start teaching you the real world. Test world first. Okay. Oh, I remember being in those booths when I was younger and have to sit there and go through. It's 100 questions, about 2 hours, and you need a 70% to pass. Now, don't tell your kids that, because they're, you don't want to get them thinking that's the way life is. State testing training. First thing you have to understand, the only thing that's different about every different public adjuster test in the United States is your state regulations, your state insurance regulations. So they're the only part that's different. Everything else is the same. What? That's right. You heard me. Everything else is the same. It's all about the ISO policies. Okay. And don't ask me what ISO stands for, because every time I think about it, I always want to forget it. Insurance basics. That's one. Adjusting losses, homeowners policy, commercial package policy, business owner policy, other coverages and options. Those are the major sections of the thing. Also, dwelling policies. Now, learning process. We have a 2-part manual, one for the state regs and the other part for everything else. And they're real easy, they're really comfortable, and they're quite nice to look at. Training videos, which go over what's in the manuals, but they're actually a class where people are actually talking about it, and it's coming up in a PowerPoint, it's going through it, and it's going to give you the detailed information. You can listen to it over and over and over and over again. Downloadable audio. So when you're driving, you can actually download them into your smartphone, plug it into an auxiliary in your car, and bam, you can be listening to speakers and hearing all this information. It's very cool, and you can learn while you drive. Because sometimes, if you're like me, the way I used to be, I was always on the road. Unlimited online tests, just like the test centers. In other words, you're going to be learning the exact same kind of questions, A, B, C, D answers and all that kind of stuff. And what's going to happen is that every time you take the test, particular tests, they change. So the next time you take that same test again on our system, you can see it as many times as you want. There's no limit. There's some of these organizations that go, oh, you can have it for so many months, or you can have it for so many viewers. No, we're not that way. We're an association. We're not just a school. We're an association that owns a school. We're about building people, not just selling you education. Licensing process. Bonding agent. We actually have one bonding agent that's inside our system, and you can contact them by the phone and through the mail, and bam, you can get your bond. Now, it's called an surety bond. It's really easy to get. You can even have a bankruptcy and still get it because of the way that bonding and the whole process works. That there's practically, if you talk to Bruce, he'll actually tell you that he's never actually had one ever activated. And he has more bonds in this industry than anybody. Annual licensing fee, that's going to range about $100, and you learn about what it is we have that actual connection so that you can go online, contact the state and find out. And also you get their application as well. Licensing paperwork package. We're going to teach you how to put the whole thing together so that you submit it, and all the parts of it, including maybe even some states actually want you to get fingerprinted, and you submit that. Usually within about 2 weeks, you're up and running with a license. Step 2, policy. Now we're going to be talking about real life. Now, real life on policy, we have HO1s, HO2s. HO1s, HO2s are known as named perils, and you're going to be learning about those. You'll learn about all the different ones, even HO6 and 5s and all that. But HO1s, HO2s, HO3s are what you're going to see consistently. Mainly what you're going to consistently see is HO3s are all risk. And all risk, it's really basically down to real simple understanding of, do we have a damage? Do I have a covered peril? Which means, is there any exclusions? If there's no exclusions and I have damage, then I have coverage. And then the other concern that you have to be concerned about is conditions. Does the client met all the conditions? In other words, if you've got a damage on a roof, we got to put a tarp on there. We got to eliminate any additional damage. That's your number one condition that you deal with. Now, there are a few other different ones, and we go over with that. And you're going to know these things inside and out. So you're going to be the smartest person in the room every time you see a client. And then dwelling policies. These are usually a lot of times people call these landlord policies, DP1s, DP2, DP3s. They kind of follow the flow of an HO1. You know what the difference is? No contents. Most of the time. Sometimes there are. Commercial policy. This is going to be something that's we actually go through commercial. Nobody I know even talks about commercial. We go through every aspect of commercial. It's quite detailed. No such thing as a small commercial claim. First, start with your residential. Unless you're already in the business and you're already dealing with commercial, then you can jump right into commercial. And then business owner policies, or BOPs, as we like to call them. And a lot of real estate investors like BOPs, and some real estate investors have been told to use commercial, and that's actually a stupid thing to do. You should always use a BOP instead of a commercial, or a dwelling policy if at all possible. Step 3, state estimating. Okay. We're going to go through 3 different steps, and we're going to teach you the actual details of estimating, not just the software. We're going to teach you the actual details of what has to be done in each different thing. The tools, measuring, masonry, framing. Step 2, roofing, siding, doors, windows, ceilings, walls. Step 3, cabinets, molding, stairs, decorating, flooring, fencing, heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electric. All these things are important to know. If you could be a builder but not know all these things. I guarantee there's very few builders that know anything about decorating. Just ask them how many different types of wallpaper there are. And there's actually 3 different grades of wallpaper, but actually in public adjusting, we only see 2. And I can tell you why. 1 lower grade and middle grade, because if I put them all in a book and I flip through it, you wouldn't know which one was which. So we always round up to a middle. And the upper ones are they're like 8 major premiums, so it's not hard to know what they are. Estimating practical. Running software. Understanding perils. Working with contents. Fire and smoke claims. We go into much more detail. Now, we're going to not teach you how to be a chaser of fires, but you're going to know every aspect of it, and you're also going to know a lot more details about fires than any other public adjuster that's out there now. Flood claims. There's a upside and a downside of flood claims, but on average, they're always profitable. Special courses: mold, lead, asbestos, commercial, like we talked about. We'll teach you how to do the estimating for it. Documenting. Estimates, the structure, contents, you're going to be learning how to document. Letters to the insurance adjuster, letters to the supervisor, and letters to your client. Proof of loss, supplements, all these different things. We have templates for everything. So, and there's multiple different templates, especially when you're dealing with the client, and there's multiple different ways of when you're dealing with supervisors and also adjusters. Reports. We have reports, so when you're actually setting things up, you can actually set up a detailed report as you're giving the insurance adjuster the estimate. You can actually overwhelm them with documentation that'll just blow them out of the water. Building codes, estimating procedures, FCNS. I guarantee you most public adjusters and most even insurance adjusters have no idea who FCNS is. That's actually considered an authority, and you can use them against them, and they will be recognized, and they will be working on your behalf. Case law. Case laws. We just had a case law that basically says that it's a federal case law, which supersedes the policy, supersedes states, supersedes everything, and basically says that every insurance claim must have cases and sections in the estimate about cosmetic. That throws away nationwide, throws away a lot of these companies' policies that say they don't owe to match and all that other crap. If you've seen that, our case law right there solves that problem real quickly. Engineer reports. And the one thing that most people overlook, and a lot of builders have actually educated me in this, is that manufacturer information can be extremely powerful, because they'll actually tell you how things are actually supposed to be done. And that process can actually make you and your client a lot of money. Negotiating. Rules and where they come from. The insurance adjuster's positions and reasons. Why do they think the way they do? Presentation layout to the insurance adjuster, and how you do it, what comes first, what comes next, and everything else, so that you actually get the maximum out of that insurance adjuster. Insurance company trends with policies. Where are they going? If we see something in one state, sooner or later it's going to happen in another state, and we will let you know before you even have it come that you're going to actually see it and know it, because we deal with everything in a national basis. We're a national association. How to record, and I mean record, and do it legal. And 99% of the time, it's without them actually even realizing that they're being recorded, and we're doing it legally. I'm going to show you how to do that, because these guys are so stupid. They're willing to say anything. They don't realize they're still dealing with case law, right? This is still a contract law, and contract law doesn't change, okay? Just because they're an insurance company and they have a lot of money doesn't change. Negotiating gimmicks and tactics. We're going to show you how to think and how to set them up. Battle plans. That's really important to understand and have a battle plan when you go in, not to just wing this thing. Claims resolution. And isn't that where we always want to go to? This is it. Appraisal. We not only teach you how to take it to appraisal, we show you how to actually run an appraisal business with all the documents, all the letters, and all the forms, and everything else it takes, and it's just dripping with case law. Small claims court. Sometimes that's an odd option that we've used when a normal attorney isn't willing to take something to a county court because he doesn't think he can make enough money off it. Well, does it mean that you don't have an option with a court? And we're going to show you how to use small claims court to actually do that and get it done without having an attorney. Federal courts. When you can take a case, especially a commercial case, to federal court, that's great, because when you get it on your side, it goes into every state automatically. Bam. This is the law of the land now. Client marketing. Networking. Networking is going to be one of your most powerful things. We're going to show you how to use professionals that will actually want to work with you, because you're going to be able to find money to solve problems for them. And that's a biggie. That's just huge. Short sales, I could just go on and on and on how we solve problems. Networking with contractors, plumbers, general contractors, roofers, restoration contractors, and more. Real estate agents, real estate brokers, and real estate investors, which I love the most. And I'll teach you about the RIAs, Real Estate Investment Associations, how to get involved with them and how to actually have them send you consistent amount of work all the time. And these people love to network, and they're going to network you with their own profession, as well as their own people within the organization, because half of these people are involved with some other different thing that you're going to want to network with. Believe it or not, contractors, real estate agents, you name it, home inspectors, they're all in that bailiwick, about half of them. Fire apps. Oh, like I said, you're going to go after fires. And I always say build an organization, get some guy named Fred, and let Fred handle the fires. You're overriding it anyway, so who cares? Because we're going to teach you how to run your business like it's a real estate brokerage with real estate agents, except you're going to have field agents, and you're going to be controlling the company, and you're going to override about 40% over the top. They're going to make a huge amount of money. They're going to love you. They're going to take care of you, and we're going to teach you how to do that so that they become like family. I mean, real family. And I don't know what kind of family you have, but my family, we're extremely close, and we're going to show you how to do that so that they won't leave you, and they will love you, and they will actually help you to build your company. Theft and vandalism apps. Speaking, we'll show you how to do speaking engagements where you can actually do home inspections and different things for large organizations and just go through massive amounts of business. Because we're actually show you how to walk through a house and actually see gold bars and nuggets all over the place that nobody else can see. Tools. There's many different types of tools, and one of them actually is how to properly do a home inspection is one of them. There's a couple others. Income potential. Change your financial future now, not tomorrow, not next week. Start doing this now. Stop waiting to get things done. Make a choice, make a decision, and move forward on it. This is a recession-proof business. That means I don't care what happens with the economy. There's always going to be a certain amount of damage and a certain amount of work and money that's out there. To give you an example, and if you have 500,000 homes in any particular area, you're going to have between 50 to 65 homes every single month. They're going to have water damage from a hot water heater bursting. Okay. and we show you how they come to you, and that happens, and those ranges anywhere between $5,000 to $25,000 on average. Although we have seen some that are in the almost up to $70,000. That was because they were away on vacation during that period of time. Inflation proof, because we're making money on a percentage basis, unless you live in Louisiana. You're making money on a percentage basis, just like an attorney. So as the prices of things rise, so does your income. So you don't care about inflation. You do, but it's not going to affect your life. Not enough PAs, and that is a massive truth. There is nowhere near I live in the mecca of public adjusting, which is in a place called Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and we have more public adjusters here than probably anywhere on the planet. But I guarantee I can knock on 4 doors, and only 1 out of 4 people will actually know what a public adjuster is, and they may not even use it. It might have just been a family member. Cap versus non-cap fees. Now, a cap state is where it is roughly about 10% to 12.5%, and you're capped on what you can make. And there's in some states. So if you're on a $10,000 claim, you're looking at either $1,000 or $1,250 from a cap state. Non-cap state, we have a rule that says do no harm. So that just means just because you can charge what you want, you don't. On large claims, like, anything over 50,000 where you have contents, because that's where contents comes in, is large claims. Then you have to do it like at 10%. But everything you're touching makes you money. 25% on, and to 20 to 25% for small claims. So on a $10,000 claim, you can see how you can be making a decent amount of income. Advantage. Non-cap. $10,000 times 20% fee, the lower percentage, that's $2,000. Cap, $10,000 times 10% fee, that's $1,000. Same amount of time, about 4 hours to do that kind of size claim, 4 to 5 hours maximum. 1 per week, that's $8,000 per month, 16 hours. Where do you get $8,000 for 16 hours worth of work? 1 per week on a cap state, that's $4,000. That's per month, 16 hours. I love you. Even that's really good money when you consider how much time you put in. So that's only 1 per week. You should be doing minimum of about 3. Otherwise, you're really considered lazy. You don't know what you're doing. You haven't been listening to us. Why not now? For true success, ask yourself these 4 questions. Why? Why not? Why not me? Why not now? Where else can you add an additional stream of income that on its own will change your future? For once, you can be a master of your future. Nobody else telling you what you can do. You know how to go out there, and you know where the money is, and you know how to get it. Just take the next step. What we're talking about here is filling out the form below so that you can even learn even more and get more information and see how we can help you. When you do that, I'll give you a quick call and I'll answer any personalized question you want. Any question. And it'd be great to just talk to you and just to see, what I can do to help you and where you're from. And I love hearing different people's stories. This is Mark Hauser saying, I am so glad that you were on this video with me. And I hope you put your information in and I get to learn more about you and you get to learn more about us. We're Property Adjustment National Association. And I appreciate your time being with me on this video. So put your information in and let's talk.